Stevenson!
Yeah! Stevenson!
So,
Where'd you go?
let's see, let me talk about my experiences. Don't worry about it. It's not too important. It's just been trans since whatever. And so, next, anybody else want to make a note, a point? I hand this off to Ezra.
Yeah!
Hey, I'm Ezra Michelle. I use they, them pronouns. I'm non-binary. I know I look like a boy, but I'm not one, okay?
Fuck no!
And I want to thank everyone for coming out. When I heard about the memo, I was really paralyzed. I wanted to give up. I wanted to just stop fighting because I feel scared, and fear can be paralyzing. But if you're scared all by yourself and you isolate yourself, it's a lot scarier than when you come together and you reach out for help. And that's what I did. And I'm so grateful that I did because there's so much support out here and we can't lose hope. That's what they want us to do, and that's exactly what we can't do. We've got to come together right now. We've got to support each other. Even if we don't know each other, we're family. We're family.
Yeah!
And I love each and every one of you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming. This means the world to me. You all mean the world to me. You all are very, very, very important people. You stand up for what you believe in. And that's the most beautiful thing we can do as human beings on this earth, is believe in something and stand up for it. Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah. And we're not going anywhere.
Fuck no!
No. We've waited far too long to be silenced again and again and again. We can't keep letting this happen. We're not just going to roll over and take this. No. We've got to fight for this. We've got to fight for ourselves. Not just for ourselves, but all of the trans people that are coming out, the ones that haven't been born yet, the ones that have existed in silence, in the closet, in history. This is for everybody. It's not just for us. And it's for the cis people too. You know, like, if trans people have freedom, it's more fun for everybody. This benefits everybody. Yeah. So, thank you for coming. Again, I love all of you from the bottom of my heart.
I love you!
I mean it. I really mean it. And, yeah. Thanks for supporting this.
Yeah!
Wait, you gonna take
Live video. It's not Instagram live.
Nah.
Hey y'all, I'm Leo. I use they, he pronouns. And when I read that memo, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Because like, I study biology, right? And the entire basis is that we want a biological basis for understanding gender. And before I came out, I was so worried that maybe all this was in my head, that I was making shit up to just like feel special, you know, like the conservatives have been saying. And like, I'm not that person, so I read all of the biology, all of the science, all of the psychology, all of the history, and all I found was a consensus that trans identities are valid under science, you know. And like, every time like someone says that like it's unscientific, like, shut that down, because it's not true. You are supported by science, you are supported by your ancestors, you are supported by your peers, you know. And it's been hard, you know, being trans, being queer, and I think also being a person of color and being trans, you know. And I think that within the trans community, we need to remember to make space for people of color, for undocumented trans people, for trans people who haven't started transitioning and who don't want to transition, remind them that they are valid and that they are beautiful and that their trans identity is whatever they want it to be. And your identities are whatever you want it to be, and you don't need validation from anybody to be yourself and to love yourself. And just remember that it's a long road, but it's a beautiful road. And being trans is, I see it as a gift because I get to experience a whole nother way of being a human being, and I think that's amazing. Remember that you are beautiful, you are special, and you are loved. Remember that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams.
Good job.
You almost made me cry, son of a bitch. I almost made me cry.
I've been asked to stall, so...
We'll wait.
Alright,
Give us a little dance.
I was about to say that.
are you ready?
You don't need to tell Jim. It's all good.
He's so prepared all the time.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sid Abad, and I go by he, him, his pronouns. My dad is Filipino, and my mother is white. I was born and raised in Goleta, and I go to Santa Barbara City College right now. So I helped form SB TAN, and soon will take up a youth facilitator position with my boyfriend, Bobby. I've involved myself deeply into the SB activism community through 3 other nonprofits and organized various clubs and implemented various major school changes at my old school, Disciples High School. Living as a transgender man of color has obstacles. I came out when I was 14 in a time I call the pre-Caitlyn Jenner era. So the word transgender didn't ring a bell to the greater population of cis people. Coming out in just the second month of my freshman year of high school is brutal. I faced bullying in the following few months, cars harassing me on the streets, and even have had some terribly transphobic interactions with teachers. After beginning my medical transition, I was so scared of showing my own trans identity to the world that I tried going stealth. That was a mess, as my anxiety went up so high, not knowing who does and doesn't know that I'm trans. This memo that has been released states that the government will take away our rights to not be discriminated from federally funded resources, such as housing, education, healthcare, employment, the list goes on. This also affects the transgender prison population greatly, legally throwing transgender inmates into the incorrectly gendered facilities. This new memo also includes the potential use of genetic testing to determine one's assigned sex at birth. This is invasive and dehumanizing violation. Sorry, I wrote stuff down. I shouldn't have. This is an invasive and dehumanizing violation of our already targeted and objectified bodies, and a direct attack at the core of our beings, our identity. The government won't be turning us into second-class civilians. We're already treated like it now. Our overall goal, their overall goal, is to completely remove us from the American society. They are taking away our most basic rights and central necessities to survive in an already brutal and broken world for trans people. Rallies are a great way to show support for trans people in the community, and I appreciate everybody in attendance. Please promise me that there's going to be some follow-up work done afterwards, though. I want to see more of us signing our petitions, more of us contacting powerful political leaders, more of us turning in their ballots, and those with the resources to donate their time to local groups dedicated to serving the trans population. We outnumber these political leaders trying to get rid of us. I see the statistic going around that there are about 1.4 million Americans who identify as trans as clearly false. We are much bigger than that. We will fight, and we won't take a break until we win. This is a pivotal time for the trans rights movement, and I'm proud to be a part of it with all of you. Don't stop feeling angry, as anger is the fuel to the fire you will all use to create big change. Thank you for being here. Who's next?
You're so matched with Blue.
Hi everyone, how you doing? Let's make a little noise for trans people right now, please. Do it again one more time, please. That right there is the sound of existence. Ain't nobody gonna erase us. Nobody can deny our existence because we stand here on our 2 feet, on our whatever feet, on our anything you're touching the ground with. You are here, you are breathing, and you matter. My name is Patrick Lyra. Just to explain who I am, I'm from Pacific Pride Foundation. I identify as trans, use they, them pronouns, and this is really moving to see everyone here. The quick thing I'll share that I posted on Facebook yesterday is I was once in a workshop with the amazing Bernice Johnson-Regan, who is a founder of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, a key student movement within the American Civil Rights Movement. And in that workshop, she taught all of us who were there that our voices, our names, our pronouns have to take up the space that we need to breathe. So when you walk around the world today, this afternoon, moving forward, don't you hesitate if you can to take that breath and say your name and say your pronouns and be fully where you are as you are. Woo! Yes, make the noise. This circle creates the space that we all need to be and to breathe. And make sure you look around. Look at each other, please. Look at the people next to you. Look at the people behind you. We are mirrors for each other. We matter. We are here. And I'm a stubborn mother trucker. And no one is going to erase me
She's
or
killing
any
it on
of
the
you.
angles.
Now, one more time, please. Make yourselves known.
I was just saying that. Woo!
Beautiful and
Here, I'm gonna go
matter.
next. I might have a panic attack. Tiffany Garcia is on here.
My name's Darby. I go by he, him pronouns, and I strongly identify as a trans man. When I heard the news, I wasn't scared. I was really, really pissed off because I know for a fact that we will never, ever let this happen because we are strong and it's bringing us together as a community, as you can see already. And I'm up here to ask cis people to use their privilege for the trans community, especially trans people of color, because they're not in the media nearly enough, and to use your privilege to protect the people around you that you love. And just fight, keep fighting, and keep speaking. Thank you.
Yeah!
Who's that? Who wants to say something? I don't believe that. Come on. Bizu? You want to say something, Bizu?
Yeah.
You're perfectly on time.
Sitting on the corner waiting for
Oh.
It's fine. The youth have taken over the organization. I'm happy to see this. The demographic of non-binary, gender, non-conforming, gender expansive, whatever you will. It all started with all of us questioning ourselves, maybe when we were 3 or 4, or maybe when we were an adult. And at some point, there was critical mass. And all I can say is attest to people willing to step up and be courageous, and then having support. That means we, in a way, become a little bit privileged that we have support from our families, our businesses, our doctors, our behavioral health therapists. And this has all come about by us taking a stand and being courageous and being visible. To be visible and be transgender, to be visible and have a disability, to be visible and be an immigrant, or potentially, you got this thing. We're all under the same kind of guise of the Trump administration, trying to find ways to divide, separate, and cause panic. Well, I'll tell you, we have a healthy community with resilience and courage and agency, and only by a couple of parents, at least in this town, and with PPF, people have come up and said, I'm standing up and supporting the identity of my trans child because the alternative isn't good. The alternative is suicide, poor grades, substance abuse. So now we have this 2 families that started maybe 3 years ago. And we have in our organization at SB TAN over 55 families of transgender youth.
Yeah! Yeah!
And also we have a huge community of young adults and older adults that mix at our center. And it just keeps growing and growing. And I am personally in gratitude to understand and see the intersectionality, intergenerational, and I could be easier on myself. I got to step out of the box because I saw all the different identities of the spectrum, and it keeps growing. So, like we've all said, we've always been here. We have agency. We are the status quo, and that's evident by all the trainings that SB TAN and PPF have been doing to acclimate people to be competent and conforming and comfortable and have a transgender friend or a queer friend or a non-binary friend or an asexual friend. It's all the same. I really can't do it. We can't do it without your community and your support. So to be a trans ally is a step up and willing to say things when things look not good for a trans-identified person. And that could be on the streets, that could be an op-ed in the paper, or just at your local schools, and especially in the medical community. We are working very hard to train to be affirmative to our pronouns and to the issues that we have. So on a local basis, we're doing great work. This is what a thriving community looks like. Once again, I'm Bizu, Felipe Bizu. I'm president of the Transgender Advocacy Network in Santa Barbara. Welcome to take some flyers about us. We love that you're here. Thank you.
Woo!
Oh, it's a lot easier than I thought. Hey y'all, I'm Bobby. They, them. I'm trans. I'm a recovering addict. I'm 20 years old.
Go, Bobby!
Yeah!
Okay, yeah. Thanks for that. Hearing about the memo made me really reflective, and I was so fucking angry to hear that again that our nation was trying to erase us. And trans people have to go through so much on their own to be able to come out, to be able to exist in their affirming bodies, their gender affirming bodies. I wasn't out until this year. I spent years numbing down my dysphoria with drugs and alcohol because it was so painful. Being trans is not easy. We have to fight to exist. We have to fight dysphoria. We have to fight mental illness. We have to fight addiction. We have to fight our communities. So thank you for coming here and supporting us and making that fight easier, because doing it alone is impossible. We can't be alone in this. Okay, I could ramble on about pain and how tragic this is and all of it, but I want to give some other people the chance to speak. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah!
Come on up, Brad.
Come on up.
Hi, my name's Luca, he, him. I've recently been going through the process of changing my name and my gender marker, and I have been privileged enough to have my entire family behind me to have my boyfriend behind me and to be able to afford all of the fees to get the identification I need. And even still, it has been the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Anyone who has done this on their own, anyone who's done this at all, you're the bravest people I know. Hang in there. We can do this. Just hang in there.
Yeah!
Yeah. So, thank you everyone who shared, and thank you for coming out again. I just wanted to announce that there is a trans-friendly space in town. It's called Lisa's Place, and we meet on Thursdays and Saturdays from 4 to 8. We sit around and just chat and eat snacks, and it's just it's a safe place to hang out and eat snacks and be trans. And that seems kind of silly and small, but really that's huge. Growing up in Santa Barbara as a trans person, there wasn't really that much space for me to just exist. And we've got space to exist here in Santa Barbara, and it's affirming, and we validate each other, we respect each other's pronouns, we ask each other their names, and we just sit and talk. Sometimes we talk about the things that are really hard about being trans, like dysphoria, and if our families aren't respectful of our identities, or whatever. But sometimes we just talk about what we ate for breakfast, and what classes have been hard. And because we're just human beings, we are very complex creatures, and it's really been an awesome space to just be able to find people in the community to relate to. And we don't have to be alone in this. We can come together, and there's a space for that. So it's on the corner of State and Padre. The entrance is on Padre. There's a trans flag, and I hope to see you all there. Well, it's a smallish room, but we can fit. No, I hope to see you all there. Yeah. It's Thursdays and Saturdays from 4 to 8. You can look it up on Facebook. It's Lisa's Place. Lisa was the woman with the dogs, so it's named after her. Can we clap for Lisa? Yeah. Lisa, it's named after her because she's a badass trans woman, and she's proud of her identity. And no, you're not proud. Are you proud? Are you proud to be trans? You alright with it? You cool with it? Yeah, okay. Well, we love her. Anyway, if anyone would like to speak more, the thing is yours. You want to thank them?
We want to thank the Women's March of Santa Barbara Women's March, for helping us get the word out. Michael, Greg, Indivisible Santa Barbara, Fun for Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
These are all allies that you can help support, and who are supporting us to give us capacity to build and to be part of the community. So we're out there every day. Visibility is a courageous act, and we hope that you walk alongside us on the streets and in your schools and in your churches. So anyone else, feel free. I would love to hear from some allies, or if you want more information about how you can support us, we do have board meeting once a month. First Saturday of the month. Our SB10 board is just an extraordinary group of people. Started by these courageous parents who said, I'm going to stand for my kids. And it's just growing from there. We get calls and emails every week where people are confused, who want information, and we're on it. We have a task force. We go out and do trainings. We can train you. We can train your organization, your school, your business, your medical providers. We can take it home We're available to do that. That's how we're making changes, by educating. Anybody from the community, I'd love to have you come up, ask us questions how you can be a better ally. We're not asking for money particularly. We're just asking for participation and courage to stand up for people on the streets. So we're not afraid to come out, and there are more safe spaces. And this is a whole safe space right here. It's just a wonderful thing. And I want to thank all the people that started coming to Lisa's place and coming to events, and all the schools that supported us. And don't forget that you can give back to your community this year, because SB Gives is launching soon, part of the Independent, and the Fund for Santa Barbara, which is a pool of matching funds that's developed for community. It builds economy, it builds more money for small organizations like yourselves. Thanks so much. Anyone else, please come up. I've got flyers here, signs up. We can get you involved, or just be on a list, and so we can let you know next things are happening. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie, and I wasn't going to speak, but I felt compelled to say something because I am here as an ally. I am here representing your Assembly Member Monique Limon. She stands with you. And again, I feel compelled to stand here with you because you do not need to spend energy with our office in telling us why we need to support you. We know we are with you, and when my boss advocates on your behalf and she votes, she thinks of everyone in this space right here. And so I just want to let you know that our office is actually close to be here today. We're here, we're down the street, and if anybody ever needs assistance with state-related stuff, but really anything, we are open. And I also just want to say thank you to Philippa, because the reason why I have this flag is because of all the work that's being done in the community, and Philippa taking the time to come to our office and make that introduction. So again, we're here, we are with you, and thank you for this beautiful space.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else feel called to share?
Hello? Oh wow, that's so loud. I've done this so many times before, and every time I stand in front of a huge group of people, I get so scared, and I just have to say that so I can. Alright. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I felt really compelled to say, and just feel really overall compelled to say, and I'm not going to be as polite as some of the people before me, but fuck Donald Trump. Who do you think you are? I have been saying no to people and have been fighting against people since I could fucking walk. People have been trying to tell me who I am and what I am. When I was a little girl, people were telling me, oh, you can't wear that, you can't do that. Grow up, people tell you you can't do this, you have to do this. People are telling you that you have to be this way. And I have said no to all of it. So fuck Donald Trump for thinking that he could do anything to define me, what's in between my legs, what I call it, who I fuck, or how I fuck them. That is he fucking sucks. And I want you all to remember that, because it's hard. I was really tired. I had a really long day at work. My boss got mad at me for something, and I went home and I really wanted to go to sleep. I was in bed ready to go to sleep, but I came out here anyways because I was mad. And dude, it sucks. This sucks. And I'm sorry to every single one of you, truly. All of this is hard. But still, who the fuck cares? Because he can't control us. And he can't control anything about how we are and who we are. And yeah, so if we could just all say it together 3 times maybe. Does that sound good? All right. Fuck Donald Trump!
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump!
We will not be erased, and we will not go dying into the night. Fuck you guys. Fuck all
Oh my god.
Okay, hi. I've never spoken into a megaphone before. This is so exciting. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay Aaron. I use he, him pronouns. And this is the first year I've ever come out, so I'm really excited to be here. So I'm a little bit rambly, just like as a person, but please bear with me because I promise this is going somewhere. So I just want to say that I understand that the present is looking a little bit grim, but the present, as we see all around us, is also beautiful in a lot of ways because all of us are out here, right? And even more so, I wanted to talk about the future because I see a lot of people out here with signs talking about the future, and I think that hope is just so damn beautiful. So I just wanted to let everybody know, as we all know, the future is female. The future is LGBT, the future is trans, and the future is ours, and we're going to crush it, right?
Yeah!
Hell yeah. All right, that's my little spiel. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Come up here. Get up here. Get on up.
Strut.
Good evening. My name is Avalon Jenkins, and my beautiful trans wife and I got married right over there. We were the first trans wedding to ever be held at the Courthouse. Here she is. We're the seniors here tonight, and I think she'd like to say a couple words.
She wants me to say a couple words. I just want to give some perspective to the history of being trans because I've been out since the 80s. And there was a time when no one even had a word for us. So when we worry too much about what's happening right now, don't be too concerned because it goes down, but it comes back and they're never going to stop us. So don't worry too much, but we're going to keep on fighting. We're going to be here, and it won't matter what Trump does because he's going to be gone. Thanks for being here.
Oh.
Trans people are helpful!
You're super helpful. Thank you. Yeah. That was great. Anyone else want to share anything? Kelly Winters.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I use feminine pronouns, but I would like to think I've earned the title Cosmic Crone.
Yep.
How many have unmailed mail-in ballots on your shelf at home? Come on, fess up. How many have already sent yours in?
Woo!
That is the power that we have. Two things. We still have the power of the vote. And the second thing is, I think, well, we can thank whatever deity we profess that we are in the great state of California, the 6th largest economy in the world, with a state government and a governor that is fiercely stood up for our rights like no other, and against the regime that whose shade of color we won't mention, like no other state government around. So just know that you are not alone, and vote like your dignity and your humanity and your lives depend on it, because they do. Thank you.
Wait, another small child.
Donald Trump is...
Say it again.
Donald Trump Trump wants to rule, but he also wants to pick how transgenders, the people can't be the gender they wanna be. Thank you.
Alright, does anyone else feel called to share anything? Anything on your mind? Alright.
First of all, I shouldn't be standing because I have the story to share like these incredibly beautiful unicorns next to me here. But I want to thank those beautiful people for speaking. I'm from UK, I'm just visiting here, but I'm standing as an ally and...
Just visiting. Yeah, I know.
Don't let this happen here. Don't let it happen. Stop this from happening. Vote. Use your voice. Vote. And from the other side of the pond, we are completely stonewalled. Everybody is completely on your side. And thanks for letting me just say that. Cheers.
This is fucking amazing. Serious. When we started Lisa's Place, first of all, can you hear me? Am I doing this right? Yeah, right. When we started Lisa's Place, I swear, we had like 1 or 2 people come every night. And now we have 10, 15. It's grown incredibly. And I'm so proud of these people over here to my right who have put this event together, but have also pulled this entire community together. And I just want to say, Lisa's Place changed my life. As Ezra was saying earlier, it's just a bunch of people sitting around in a room, eating snacks. And yet, every week, people would come with their openness and their honesty and their courage. And it was impossible to be in that space and not be touched. Lisa's Place is one of the best things that ever happened to me, but being trans is one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yeah!
A lot of people look at being trans as a burden, and there is a challenge, but it is also liberating, and it is also joyful. I've never had so much fun in my whole fucking life. This has been amazing. And seeing all of you here is just beyond my wildest dreams. I thank you all. If you're members of the trans community, if you are allies, you're all part of this community, and we thank you for coming. Thanks very much.
Hi. My name's Percy. I use he, him pronouns. I am from the Bay Area, and I moved here 1 month ago. I go to Santa Barbara City College. It's very beautiful. It is so isolating to move to a new place where you know literally no one. But I stand here and there is this huge crowd and I don't know anybody here. I know like one person here tops. But I have never felt more connected to my new community, to my trans community at large, because it's amazing. I come from this huge, like really fully realized, really big trans community in the Bay. But no matter where you go, you can find this. That is the most amazing thing, the most cool thing about being trans, is that literally wherever you go, there are trans people who will welcome you with just open arms and open hearts, who will like understand you and instantly be able to connect to you. And there is no other part of my identity that is that powerful and that important. And I just want to say that it is so important that we have this thing that connects us all, and you guys have built just a really wonderful community here, and I feel so privileged to now be a part of it. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to say? Okay, good.
Hey everyone, I'm Nigel. I live in town. She matched with friends with Esca and all the beautiful SB10 people. I just want to say, intersex people are affected by all this too. Trans and intersex solidarity. Yeah.
Trans people get to choose who they want to be, no one else.
It runs off.
Skedaddles out.
Hi, I'm Han. I use they, them pronouns. Thank you. The people who would legislate me out of existence are terrified of me. They think that the rules will keep them safe. They think that if they fall into neat boxes, they will live forever. They are terrified of trans people. They're terrified of women. They are terrified of people of color. They are terrified of intersex people. They are terrified of disability. They are afraid of their own vulnerability, and they think if they can build a society where they can't see it, it doesn't exist. We might be tempted to believe the same thing. We might think that when they threaten us and they legislate us away and they come for us, that we can be safe by being invisible. We never can. We can be safe by being together. We can be safe by showing up for the other people who are under threat and knowing that they'll have our back without policing them. We will be safe when we know who we are and we refuse to be quiet. I want everyone here to say your real name to me right now.
Lucy!
I want you to say your real name to City Hall so they can hear you. I want you to say your real name so they can hear you in Sacramento. Once more, I want you to say your real name so that they can hear you in the fucking White House. I hear you. I see you. You are precious. I will not leave you behind. And I trust you. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah!
Does anybody want to speak? Raise your hand if you want to speak.
Alright, how's everybody doing? Are you mad?
Yeah!
I said, are you mad?
Yeah!
That's what I fucking thought. We should be. We should be. And the thing I want us all to remember, I want you to remember this when you leave this place today, is that it doesn't end here. It doesn't end when we come together and when we leave. When we come together with posters and with signs and with shouting, it happens every day.
Yeah.
Cis people like me, it happens every day. Because it is happening to our trans loved ones, our trans siblings, our trans friends, every single day. It doesn't end when you leave the ballot box. Voting is a part of this. It can be an important part of this, but it's not the end. It doesn't end when we get rid of Donald Trump. Because yeah, he's an asshole, but he's not the entire thing. That's not the end. It started before him. It will continue after him.
we are looking at a network of slowly growing fascism to which we must attend every single day. So find the ways that you can do this. We're all doing different things in different ways, but find the ways. Whether you are making art, whether you are making legislation, whether you are asking people to vote, whether you are getting in the streets and putting your body on the line, whether you are donating to organizations, whether you are simply calling up your trans friends and family and not just saying, what can I do to help, but how are you? Do you need a listening ear? Do you eat today? How are you paying your rent this month? How are you paying your medical bills? Because it is in those questions, it is in those day-to-day moments that we are going to build and save this community.
Any speakers? Allies welcome. Are we good?
Yeah.
We're great.
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone again for coming out and speaking and sharing their hearts with us. This isn't over when we depart from the courthouse. We need to do our part. We need to vote. And we need to stay strong and stay together and stay connected. And I love all of you very, very much. Like I said, Marguerite has a thing that they want to say. What are your pronouns, Marguerite?
I use they, them, and he, him.
They, them, and he, him. Wonderful.
Hello. Thank you to all the speakers. I'm just up here. Someone from Ethnic Studies Now asked me to come up and share with y'all an event that's happening technically in 6 minutes, but most importantly in an hour. So I'm just going to give you the details on that. Ethnic Studies Now is a local coalition of high school students that are working to make ethnic studies a requirement for graduation, to make sure that everyone leaves with a complex cultural understanding of just white people.
Woo! Woo!
And fun fact, there's a lot of people in those studies that are queer and trans too, so you know. It's a lot, it's all an intersection.
All in one.
Things to learn. But anyways, today, going on at 6:30 at the school district, at the, what's it called? The main school district building. I'm getting the address for you right now. Okay. At 720 Santa Barbara Street, it's just a couple blocks that way. At 6:30, there's a school board meeting where they are accepting public comments on whether or not they just to see if the public finds it to be important if ethnic studies is taught in high school. I'm extending to all an invitation to come there at 6:30 today and make a public comment in support of ethnic studies now. It's very important that we are educated. It's very important that people understand culture and diversity in many, many levels, especially in this one. And yeah, and actually at 5:30, there's also Chumash and Nashika folks have sponsored an event that's happening at 5:30, also there, that's like a kind of a prequel event if you'd like to go, hear more about what's going on and hear more about how you can support those communities. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again for coming out. And I'll see you around. See you at Lisa's place. Yeah, if you have any questions about how to get more involved in the community, you know, I made the Facebook event. If you wanna contact me, I'm Ezra Michelle.